Chart: U.S. electric vehicle sales set for record year amidst industry dynamics. Contrary to somber headlines, the U.S. electric vehicle (EV) market is not only thriving but poised for a groundbreaking year, marking a pivotal moment in the transformation of the automotive industry. Despite encountering anticipated growing pains, EVs are unmistakably on course to reshape the landscape of American transportation. In the first 9 months of the current year, EV sales have surged by an impressive 50%, eclipsing the total sales for the entire year of 2022. If the present pace continues, annual sales are primed to surpass the historic 1 million mark for the first time ever. One crucial metric signaling the shift to mass adoption is the share of EVs in new car sales, with Bloomberg Green's analysis indicating that the U.S. crossed the critical 5% threshold in late 2021. By the third quarter of 2023, EVs constituted approximately 8% of new car sales, affirming the sustained momentum in consumer adoption. Delving into specific regions such as California, which has committed to ending the sale of gas-powered cars by 2035, the trajectory becomes even more promising. In Q3 2023, internal combustion vehicles represented only 64.6% of new vehicle sales in California, a notable decline from 71.6% in 2022, as reported by the California New Car Dealers Association. Beyond the raw numbers, the narrowing price gap between EVs and internal combustion cars further accelerates the adoption curve. Factoring in automaker price adjustments and various state and federal rebates, EVs have never been closer in price to their traditional counterparts. Case in point, a basic Tesla Model 3 is priced at $38,990 before rebates and fees, bringing it within a competitive range with the average U.S. new car price of approximately $45,000. Admittedly, the transition to EVs has presented challenges for U.S. automakers. Legacy companies such as Ford and GM have found it necessary to reassess and, in some cases, scale back their pledged EV investments. Tesla, facing lower than expected demand, has strategically adjusted its prices to maintain competitiveness. However, it is crucial to recognize that such challenges are inherent in transitions to new technologies. The path forward is rarely linear, marked by both successes and setbacks. The dynamic nature of the EV market is exemplified by these fluctuations, where adjustments in strategy and pricing are part of the process. The dynamic upswing in electric vehicle (EV) sales in the United States signals a notably positive trend, underscoring the industry's resilience and the potential for widespread adoption. The trajectory toward mass EV adoption is discernible in both national and regional data, buoyed by competitive pricing and governmental incentives. However, a comprehensive analysis necessitates an exploration of critical challenges, such as the industry's substantial reliance on China for battery production, which introduces potential vulnerabilities. While the positive momentum is undeniable, the U.S. EV market faces multifaceted challenges, and one of the most pronounced is the dependence on Chinese battery manufacturing. This reliance raises concerns about supply chain security, geopolitical tensions, and the impact on overall market stability. Diversifying the battery supply chain, fostering domestic production capabilities, and exploring alternative technologies are essential strategies to mitigate these risks and ensure a more robust and sustainable foundation for the burgeoning EV market. Moreover, the current limitations in charging infrastructure represent another significant hurdle to the widespread adoption of electric vehicles. Despite advancements, the expansion of charging networks remains pivotal to alleviating range anxiety and enhancing the overall appeal of EVs. Government initiatives and private sector investments in charging infrastructure development are imperative to address this challenge and foster an environment conducive to EV proliferation. Beyond these considerations, the rapid evolution of EV technology and concerns about battery degradation pose challenges in the used EV market. Establishing standardized battery life metrics, implementing effective recycling programs for EV batteries, and promoting technological innovations can contribute to a more sustainable lifecycle and bolster consumer confidence in the second-hand EV market. In conclusion, while acknowledging the positive trends in U.S. EV sales, a thorough examination must encompass challenges such as dependence on Chinese batteries, charging infrastructure limitations, and concerns related to the used EV market. Addressing these issues through strategic investments, regulatory support, and technological advancements will be pivotal to ensuring the continued success and long-term sustainability of the electric vehicle market. Are EV sales actually tanking? Love my dad, but I don't know where he gets these quick facts. EV sales are tanking, tons of automakers are quitting making them. Just doing some Googling, 2023 was the best year for EVs here in the US, however, is it finishing up with a big decrease? Is the federal credit that's going away going to ruin the sales records for 2024? Just would like a good answer to my pap when he keeps saying this. Gasoline vehicle sales are also slowing. High prices and high interest rates are affecting the entire industry. However, as has been mentioned, more EVs have been sold in the USA in 2023 than were in 2022. That's a hard fact that is proven by published sales numbers. Yep, rate of sales growth is slowing, which basically had to happen, but volume-wise it's still a significant increase. Just to point out that sales growth slowing down should be a cause for concern in an industry. Not the end of the world, but a lot of valuations, loans, staffing, are based on that expected growth. People usually bake in some growth reduction, but when it's bigger than expected, you'll start to see cost-cutting measures, even as sales and profits are actually growing. This right here, I haven't seen the articles Opie's dad is citing, but I expect it's along the lines of EV sales massively slowing, because car sales in general have slowed, and add in some automakers abandoning many EV models, because they are being replaced with new models. I'm not a mainstream media can't be trusted kind of guy, but I am shocked by the misleading headlines that show up on the default page in my web browser. Oil and gas companies and their investors buy a lot of ad space in the news. A lot of Murdoch-associated media, I'm sure. LOL, that right there is why they can't be trusted. I'm not sure who you are still trusting, but I can't even read about GPUs without a writer giving some biased AMD versus Nvidia nonsense in the article. Even in that space they make issues sound more widespread or a bigger deal than they really are. I can't find anyone not putting a BS spin on something. Google EV sales in US. Americans purchased 1 million fully electric vehicles in 2023, the first time that many EVs have ever been sold in this country in a single year. It was already almost 900,000 through September. EV sales have been steadily rising every quarter. I believe the F-150 had its best month ever in November with 4,000 sold. With zero help from dealers and a barrage of misinformation. Nice to see Tesla market share plummet finally. It's so absurd Stellantis never did anything in the US, now would be the perfect time to sell Renault Zoe there. Stellantis is at like 20 to 25% market share in the EU. Dominates EV vans and such. Pretty sure Renault is a separate brand from Stellantis. And Stellantis is actively installing EV chargers at all of their training facilities. They are about to go in heavy. I think they are also officially in the black on EV sales in both Europe and the US. Also, they are a major player in the market. In the US they own Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, Ram, and a few others. Oh, I actually did a nice brain fart. I totally remembered Renault was a part of Stellantis nowadays. Must have just mixed it up with Peugeot for some reason. Forgot they had the old American brands in the bag too. Be careful when you quote percentages. It's easy to manipulate numbers that way. For instance, the percentage of Tesla's production compared to all other car companies will, of course, go down over time. That's to be expected. The important thing is whether Tesla's production has gone up. The number of vehicles produced and the margin made on each vehicle is what you want to watch.